So it's so lovely to see you. And Lou is a wonderful guest today on Arise Humanity. And he's been here before quite a few times. So he's back, which is wonderful. Lou Martin is based in Ireland, and he is a wonderful spiritual channel and teacher. And he has the very exciting news to share today. I like that. Nice. He has a very exciting news to share with us. And that's why I contacted him, because I really wanted to hear about his experience at the 38th Annual World Congress on Illumination, which was run by Era of Peace and Patricia Coto Robles. And this was held from August the 10th to the 15th, which incidentally was my birthday, and it's Mother Mary's Day as well. So I love that because I love Mother Mary. And that was just a few days ago at Tucson, Arizona. And each day, there were 6 days in total, and each day had a very important activation of light, or a sort of like a activity for everyone to participate in to help humanity in this whole ascension process. And it's interesting because they were very profound activities. She had a lot of really fascinating information to share about what's happening on the planet at the moment. And it's really, really exciting and really, really positive. And so I think we should be celebrating this news at the moment. And that's why I've got Lou here today to share with us his incredible experience. So big welcome, Lou. So wonderful to see you and have you here.
Thank you, Medina. It's great to be with you again, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And you're looking young and sprightly as ever.
I'm fighting on, as we all are. Yes.
It's amazing because you did have, not that long ago, a big health issue, which was life-threatening, and you're looking incredible. So it's the power of the spirit, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And bless you, hon. You're one of my favorite humans on this planet, my friend.
Aww.
And you do, yes, love you madly, and you do such great work. And I'm always interested in anything you have to share. And it's a privilege to be with you and talk to your amazing audience out there, the people that follow your wonderful work. So I feel really privileged to be here with you and spend some time again.
Oh, that is so kind. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful to hear. Well, tell us, what did you do when you, first of all, perhaps tell us why you were inspired to attend this incredible meeting of like-minded light workers that gathered together. There were 500 apparently in total that gathered together, and then people also around the world were doing the activities as well and are continuing to do them. I've been sharing them on my YouTube so people can do them as well. And this was the 38th year of this event that has been held annually for 38 years. And it's just such a huge thing, isn't it, that now was the final one, because she does not need to do them anymore, which is wow, it blows me away. So share with me what inspired you to attend. First of all, I know you've been a wonderful follower of Patricia for a long time.
Yes, well, honey, I attended from right where I'm sitting. I didn't get on a plane in Arizona. I just want to be clear about that little detail. I haven't seen Tucson in a few years, but everything else you said absolutely slots right in. And so I've been aware of Patricia and her teachings. My spiritual awakening happened 38 years ago. Actually, it happened around the time of the harmonic convergence, which was
1989.
No, 87. 87. Yes, and you spoke of Mother Mary's Ascension Day, and that has a deep connection to all of this as well. The first World Congress. So Patricia started working with Spirit in 1968. So that's nearly 60 years. Wow. And she's they're giving her a little time off now, but she's still promised to keep going with all of us. So that's reassuring. I saw her in person and in a big hotel, standing at a podium, and I was in the back of the room, and there were probably 500 people there. It was a free event. All of her events have been free. And but I knew about her and her teachings, her work with what she calls the Company of Heaven, from working in the spiritual bookstores in my 20s and following her in magazines and things like this, Kindred Spirit and these kinds of magazines. So anyway, flash forward to, let's say, the last 7 or 8 years, since 2016. She started to do these weekly video transmissions. She calls them vlogs, video logs. And she's done now about 368 of them, I believe. Yeah. And then she started at #1 again in 2024. But they're all there. They're all available on her site and on YouTube, or on her site anyway. And
most of them are activations too, aren't they? They're sort of,
absolutely.
They're not just things that you watch, but you become involved and you participate, and yes, it helps us in our both our individual ascension process, but also when we all do it, it's collectively really shifting the planet forward as well.
Yes, you're saying it beautifully. I mean, Medina, this is just a dream for me, because you really do understand what she's offering, and you're helping. You know, we're helping to get it to a wider audience here. I mean, it always amazes me that relatively there might be like 5,000 people, you know, on a big call during the Congress. Those are big numbers. It's a relatively small audience so far, but anyway, she's done this incredible work with Spirit, and since you've been seeing the videos from the last World Congress, you know the quality of the transmissions have just been simply life-changing, and you know, we're being lit up for the big time. We're being prepared for the big game, is my analogy here, my metaphor, and you know, you're again. Everyone who wants to be of loving service to humanity's awakening, healing, and growth, is the way my guides put it. This is such a golden opportunity to work with these energies. And yes, they're there all the time. And her phrase is from Spirit, there is no separation between all of us. We are one. And these energies happen in the eternal moment of now, time and space being illusions, and Spirit having dominion over the creation of reality at the highest levels. So yeah, we're being lit up, and you're feeling it and I'm feeling it, and it's very exciting.
I really love her energy. She's incredibly humble. She said, I love what she said. She said that when she started on this journey, you know, for the work that she's been doing, you know, to really support the ascension process, she asked the Company of Heaven, why have you picked me? And she said that they said it was because she was such an ordinary person.
Well, yes.
She doesn't sound very ordinary when she talks.
No, dear.
She brings the most amazing words. And she's also seems to have an incredible aura or energy. So share with us. I mean, we're not into obviously celebrity worship here, because we don't want to do that, but we want to honor her soul and who she is, you know, as an amazing being of light. So what is she like when you're around her?
Well, as I said, I was at the back of a very big room. But what I do know so when she started, I'll dovetail back to this. When she started these videos in 2016 weekly, she did them every week and has done them every week for 8 years, basically. Yes. And so that to me is simply extraordinary. And as you're saying, the level of her channeling, you know, she's just talking like we're just talking, but she's connected all the time. She did the same thing in person. She didn't go into a trance. She wasn't, you know, doing anything out of the ordinary. But because she's been initiated by Spirit, and she tells you her stories of initiation, to come to your point, you know, she may be as meek as the dust, but oh my God, she's bringing the power of the universe through these messages. And there are no accidents, as we like to say in the spiritual game. And so, you know, we're being drawn to each other. We're being drawn to Patricia. All of us now, you know, the light bulb has gone off over our head or in our heart, more to the point. And, you know, we're gathering the team and the tribe, and we're so to come to the World Congress, she's through spirit, she's given us these downloads, basically, these activations, as you said, and to come to Mother Mary on what, your birthday is the 15th, 16th?
Yes, 15th.
15th. Okay. So that's Mother Mary's Assumption Day.
Yeah.
And that was the day that God brought Mother Mary back into the heavens for her wonderful service. And she became, basically, according to Patricia, she became then the gateway for humanity to come back to what is called the Immaculate Concept, which is, our innocence, basically, and our sacredness, if you will.
So it is very much connected to children, Mother Mary's energy. She really loves and honors and looks after children. So it's that sort of inner child quality, which I resonate with, and I love children. So yeah, it's really special, because it's that innocence you talk of is that beautiful connection, I think. And she also doesn't seem to age, I must say, too. She always seems to be around the same age.
Right. Yeah. No, it's true. And I want to say that 2 years ago, on November 11th, on 11/11, Patricia did a live event online, and it was with the wonderful musician and composer Aeolia, who's an amazing channel for music and spirit. And it was also this new woman who I'd never met before. Her name is Adi, A-D-I, Lamborn, Lamborn. And Adi grew up in Prague, in Czechoslovakia, during the communist time, and she stepped forward to be a teacher along with Patricia. And so I will give you her email address. You can be in her class for free, anyone who writes to her. And my friend Annie and I have been in her class, a couple hundred times in the last few years. She does it usually around now the new moon and the full moon for a few days. But she's also Patricia's video creator and video director. Yeah. And what I want to say is that about 2 weeks before the World Congress, they started cranking out the videos like there was no tomorrow. And usually we'd have a video a week from Patricia, and that would be great. And sometimes two, and you could join her YouTube channel and get an extra class if you wanted. I've not done that so far, but they put out about 14, 16 videos in the space of 2 weeks, including the incredible ones for the World Congress itself. So Addie is another treasure to know about, and she's been a great guide. And to come back to Patricia here for a second, Addie is traveling out of her body all the time, and she's done this since she was 4 years old. And she says the interesting thing with Patricia is any dimension you go to, she's there. And I find that rather revealing in terms of, we think she is a very dignified, gentle, simple, and humble human being, but clearly there's a lot going on through her spiritually. So it's just exciting to learn these little tidbits.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'll be leaving all the details below for the videos to watch them on YouTube. And also I'll leave the email below, perhaps, for Addie Lamborn. I know that you've been very much an advocate for her work. She is amazing from everything that you're saying. So
yes.
2 amazing sources of information spiritually for anyone who wants to follow them up. Yes. What I wanted to ask now, Lou, is what was your experience of these 6 days, and what were the key things that you got in terms of humanity's progress now? How are we going? What did you get from it? Because there's so many people out there at the moment, they're listening to, maybe fear porn or disinformation,
right,
or information that's saying, humanity's on a downward spiral or whatever, and it couldn't be more far from the truth. According to Patricia, we have succeeded beyond the wildest expectations. So please share with us, what your take was, what you picked up in terms of that for humanity to be able to celebrate.
Yes, darling, we're one mind here today. You're picking up everything I'm wanting to talk about perfectly.
Tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. Doing the dance together. Yeah.
Among the flowers.
Yes, yes, I love your garden there. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes,
Isn't it
you're
pretty?
welcome. So, what I'd like to say to everyone listening is to, of course, please check out these videos. Don't take our word for it, but do your own research and your own investigation. But what I would say is understand that the very fact that you're hearing these messages and thinking about these teachers and getting this energy and this information from the two of us who can barely stand it, it's so exciting. You know, take this as a gentle hint from the universe that there are resources and teachers and teachings that will serve you mightily. So just that's the preface. To come to the World Congress and Patricia's work, I want to include this. So she's giving us all these tools of empowerment, and you touched on it perfectly, which is the key tool of empowerment is to understand that we are the creators of our reality, and we live in a world that is a self-reflective illusion based on our beliefs and based on our previous programming, etc. And all of that is changing right now. And so this decade, she says from Spirit, is the time when humanity starts on a completely different course of events, as we can feel and know. And as you're saying, it's the way it looks like things are getting worse, is her statement, but actually they're just simply being revealed so that we can heal them. And we've done a lot of work with Patricia on forgiveness and on blessing the pray for your enemies because you have none, as Jesus says, not sitting in judgment or fear or hatred or resentment or anger, but blessing everyone and forgiving everyone, and using Spirit, Mother Mary, the Ascended Masters. One of the last videos she and Addie did was this download of all the Ascended Masters coming in and blending with each of us. It was absolutely extraordinary. It's like 35 minutes long. I've done it 2 or 3 times now. And
you can repeat them and do them more than once. And I would encourage that as well, because you get more for each time that you do them. Yeah.
Yes, I have them on my phone. I'll record them off YouTube and just stick them on my phone. And when I'm sleepless or anxious or going through something, I'll just throw one on, not even knowing what it is, and go, oh, that was very helpful. Yeah. So yes, the work that you and I and everyone on this call is being asked to do is to listen to, trust, and follow our inner guidance and to look for what we've asked for: more help, more wisdom, more clarity, more courage, more abundance, more health, more love, to come in through these teachers and teachings. And Patricia and Addie are certainly at the top of the mountain for me in my 38-year journey here with Spirit. They're right up there. So it's a huge thing to share it with people. It's a blessing.
Wow. Well, what I loved about it was when she said that the energies now, what happens is on all the different causal realms, they happen first, and then the very, very last realm to see any sort of results is this physical 3D reality that we see, that we think is so real. So it's like, yes, all the good stuff, all the good stuff has preceded and has already been done on the other realms in terms of the ascension of humanity and the raising in frequency and consciousness and the sort of liberating ourselves from the darkness. That's sort of all been done, but this is the very last place, our reality in the 3D, that we can see those results. So they're not necessarily evident yet. All we're seeing is all the stuff coming to the surface collectively, as opposed to seeing all the good stuff starting to really kick in. I mean, we see elements of the good things happening, but it's not really, really obvious, I guess, to a lot of people. So what would you say to that in terms of why on this realm now, in this physical 3D reality that we exist in, it's so hard to perceive all these wondrous things that have actually been happening for humanity for the first time ever in the history of the earth?
Well, that's a good question.
No pressure.
Do we have a week? Yeah, can I have a week to answer that one? That's brilliant. I mean, yeah. Here, I'll start with this. I'll share an interview with you after we're done here. I just did last night with a dear friend of mine who is on Kauai, on the Hawaiian Islands, and she's had an amazing journey. And she just in the last few years, she lived in LA. She went to the work with the shaman in Peru, and also did an incredible healing workshop in Costa Rica. And now she's working. She just met with Mateus De Stefano, a name most of us would know, in Kauai on 8/8, and she shared about that. Her name is Kira Finley, and she's a bright, beautiful light, like your good self here, my friend. We're really, we have to clean our side of the glass is the short answer to that. Yeah. And that's why we're getting these healings, downloads, activations, prayers, meditations, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, I'm probably meditating 2 or 3 hours a day most days of my life, because the energies are so intense right now, and so it's such a powerful time.
Tell me about it. Right? Oh my God! Yeah. Like two days ago, my back went out, and then I could feel all this energy in my kidneys, and I just could barely move. And so then I had to do a lot of inner work, a lot of work on myself. I also use my quantum frequency device, my Healy. I got a few light worker friends to send me healing. And I just had to do this really intensive work in order to be able to move properly. And then the next day it got a bit better. And then the day after that, it's got a bit better. And each day's got better. And then I thought I'm going to add to my own work at the moment, because obviously my physical body's going through things, to fast. So for a couple of days now, I've been fasting. And I think that we need to listen to our bodies and to, all the things that we need to do at the moment to really support our own evolution. And it's not always easy, because, it's not much fun when you can barely move because your back's so sore. But anyway, it's this sort of energy. And a few people said to me, "Oh, what have you done? What did you do?" I said, "Nothing." I didn't do a thing. It's just the energy that's trying to sort of come in and release all the old stuff that no longer serves you, and shift you in this process of our bodies becoming more crystalline, as opposed to carbon-based as they were.
Yes. Well, I have to tell you, this is something called the Life Wave X39 patch.
Oh, no, I'm doing an interview with someone about those very shortly. An interview. She's a affiliate with these amazing light waves patches, and I said we must do an interview. So that's coming up. Her name is Beautiful Kate Adams, and
well, great. Yeah, I just interviewed right before we got on Tessa Tremaine, who's after 20 months, she's at presidential director level and is making like $1 million a year, helping people to work with light in this easy, cheap, non-toxic way. Yeah, so I definitely wanted to bring this up to you, Australian friend.
We're on the same page, totally. She was saying that there is a new one coming out to do with light waves. They don't say exactly what it is yet, but it has 100% success rate in shifting and healing, which is an incredible thing to say. It's an incredible statement that it's 100% successful. But this is coming up. It's going to be released shortly as one of the light wave products coming.
Yeah. Well, exactly, honey. I'm delighted. I'm not surprised you're on the case there as well. I've been on this for 2 weeks. You're saying how I'm looking better. My hair was white 2 weeks ago. It was a lot lighter, and this is what it does. It turns on the stem cells in the body, which stop production. It diminishes at 30 and it stops at 60. And so the stem cells turned on, it goes back into the immune system, and you start reversing your aging.
Well, you look fabulous. I really noticed that when you came on today. And it's funny because literally I was speaking to her yesterday, and she's sending me 10 patches to try starting on Monday. Starting on Monday, I'll be doing it. And I'm going to put them on my dog as well, because he's been his paws a little bit. So,
Yes. Well, let's come back to that when we're not chatting online here. But to come back to, and that's wonderful, because I mean, the thing is, they're incredible pain relief. They're like instant pain relief for most people. So I'm glad your friend's looking after you, and we can talk about this. But yeah, it's been good for me just learning about these things. So yeah, the thing you were saying, you know, is the glass half empty or half full? This is the work that all of us as souls agreed to participate in this lifetime. And so everyone who is on this call, please take what my teacher Lazarus calls joyous responsibility for your invitation to wake up and stay awake and get out of the pain and fear paradigm that we're talking about from the past, and get into the love and light paradigm of the present and the future. And the door is wide open. The last thing, and then I'll hear what you want to say. The last thing is that Patricia said, we have never received more help from Spirit than we are right now.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's been increasing and increasing and increasing, and it's the highest level that it's ever been.
Which is similar to the Schumann resonance. It's sort of the heartbeat of the Schumann is at unprecedented levels as well.
As above, so below. Yes,
exactly. Dear. Exactly. Yeah. And I also find too that, you know, when we have something come up for us, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, it's a signal to us that perhaps this is the moment to do more work in some way. We're being given a trigger or a signal that, you know, more needs to be done, because you don't have to sit in the pain or whatever it is that you're experiencing, but it's a signal that's coming to you that it's time to do more work. So that's always how I look at it. If things come up like that, I go, okay, I've got to do more now.
No, well said. Well said. I mean, Patricia's metaphysics and her cosmology, her story of creation from Spirit is pretty breathtaking. And basically, on the first World Congress of Illumination, it was in Diamond Head on Oahu in Honolulu. And Diamond Head is this, volcanic, structure that overlooks the city and the ocean there. And it's quite a magical spot. And they've had it many different places. But what I want to say is that the harmonic convergence and December 21st, 2012, and now here we are 12 years after that. It was 25 years getting from 87 to 2012. That was a two-tier period of energetic awakening, 5 years at first, and then 20 years was the second part, the way Lazarus explained it to us. And now we're 12 years out from 2012. And so again, this decade is, blast off time. And we can see, you mentioned the Schumann resonance, and it's off the charts, it's at 70 and 80, etc. And then the same thing, of course, with the solar flares. We had these X classes in May, and we had another one around August 8th. And then these geomagnetic storms that are a result of all of that. So, we are being stirred up, and to basically what Patricia teaches from her guides is that the shift from 3D, 4D to 5D, that no other group of consciousness has been invited to shift 2 dimensions in a single lifetime. So that's part of the excitement here. And of course, I'm not sure what you understand, but my understanding is the 4th dimension is the astral of the 3rd dimension. This is where we go in between lifetimes, and where a lot of the negative energies that we've been combating on planet Earth hang out. So as we shift into the 5D, and we're doing that now, Medina, because this is why we're able to receive these energies. You see, it's everything is willingness is everything, is what Spirit says. And where your heart is, there is your treasure, as Jesus says. So, that we're interested in this, that we're passionate about this, that we're hungry and thirsty after wisdom and knowledge, as the saying goes, is because this is our soul's purpose. And so, there really is this splitting apart now between people that are willing and ready to work with love and light, and people that are confused and afraid and just want to control everything and stay the same. So,
yes.
Woo!
Yeah, amazing times. When you mentioned Honolulu, where it first was, the very first Congress of Illumination. She said that that was originally Lemuria, which was very interesting because she finished the final
Lemuria, sweetheart. Lemuria.
Oh, sorry, did I say it wrong? Lemuria.
You're right.
And,
You're right.
and so she finished it in the same sort of location, which was like coming full circle to from where she started back to that point. I thought that was interesting symbology. And,
oh God, yes.
And also, I think she has a really fascinating sharing that the reason why we have been given this opportunity by the company of heaven to be able to ascend in this incredible way up 2 dimensions is because we volunteered to support the laggard souls, or souls that were darker souls that were being out in the universe, in the cosmos, and they were just out there, and we agreed for them to come to earth and help support them on their evolution. And that was why we were given so much dispensation and support in this ascension process from the beings of above of light. So
yes,
I think that's a really good point to make.
Oh God, yes. Thank you for saying.
Why were we so able to do this and accomplish this? It was because we put our hand up to help these souls be able to go through their own evolutionary process on Earth.
Yes, it's a brilliant, essential point you're making, and I appreciate it so much. No planet and no group of people had ever made this level of sacrifice that you're describing there in creation before. And it's part of why we're going up 2 dimensions. It's part of why nothing and no one can stop this. And it's part of why we're so of such interest to so many other civilizations in creation. You know, you and I know Earth is like Grand Central Station. There's ETs and angels and, fairies and beings of light bopping in and out all day long. It's a big meeting place, so it's exciting. Our ability to consciously create our reality is what we've been coming back into as well. Mm-hmm. And so when we are taking on the joyous responsibility of forgiving, blessing, and healing and releasing these darker or more confused, more wounded, more attached to the illusion souls, we're really healing that part of ourselves. And this is why, Patricia and all of our teachers are asking us to be the peacekeeping presence, in our lives, to not be picking sides and not be dividing people. This is why I love Bobby Kennedy's campaign in America, and I'm so supportive of him and so excited that he's done so much good work to try to make peace and bring people together and all of that. But all of us need to do whatever we can, to hold that space. And I know you know this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it all stems from our own internal state of being. So if we're at peace within ourselves and we're feeling not conflicted and we're centered, then we can emanate that peace to the rest of the world. But if we're not in that space ourselves, it's very difficult to be able to be that energy that creates that in the world around us. So
impossible. Yes, it's impossible. Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's watching, who is perhaps feeling that lack of centeredness and peace within themselves? So they're feeling like they're not able to really make a difference in the world because they're not feeling that within themselves. What advice would you give to them?
Sure, honey. Sure. Well, that's a beautiful question to be asked. Thank you. We'll all pretend out there we don't know the answer to this, and I'll pretend I do know the answer to this. How does that sound? What I want to share is that what I've been guided to do recently, do you know orindaben.com from Sanaya Roman? She's a wonderful channel. I'll send you the link, orindaben.com. This is 2 different channels channeled by 2 different people who both passed on, but they have a Spirit of Peace 30-minute meditation, and they invite people at 9 a.m. Sunday mornings in your local time to use this meditation. And so I've been doing that the last few weeks because I got guided to do that. But what I really want to say is I think the greatest tool is forgiveness. When we judge each other, when we're motivated or provoked is a better word to hate, fear, and blame each other, then we've given our power away and we're lost in the illusion. And we have to play by the illusion's rules. If we can, this is why Jesus had such a huge impact on the world, whether we want to be in the Christian team or whatever. All that is a distraction to my mind. It's just about love and forgiveness and compassion and mercy. So if we can forgive, then we can release that charge of feeling victimized or fearful. And that will absolutely help us to raise our vibration. And the other secret is blessing a situation or a circumstance or an individual or a group that we find ourselves hating, fearing, resenting, etc. And by blessing the situation and giving it to however you want to put it, Almighty God is the phrase that comes to my mind, or God got us all that is, or Mother, Father, God is the way Patricia puts it. But you give it to your loving higher power for its purpose. We don't understand the bigger picture. We're lost in the illusion often. And so I say, God, I don't know what the purpose of this is. So I'm going to give this situation to you. The war in Gaza with Palestine and Israel and Hamas, I'm going to give this to you and ask for your will to come forth in this situation, to bless me and everyone in the world so that we can bring healing forth from this, from Ukraine and Russia, etc., from my ex or my old landlord or whoever it is I'm having a struggle with at that moment. If we give it to Spirit, Spirit will take it over and turn it into something that is a force for good. And that's fifth dimension. Third dimension is the illusion of separation. You're there, I'm here, past, present, future, all that. Fifth dimension is vibrationally and energetically and synchronistically. It's all one, and it's all consciousness. And we're in this field of dreams where we can create anything that we think about and invite into our experience. And it happens much more elegantly and much more quickly. So the more we step into that place of love and forgiveness, the more synchronicity and grace and abundance and healing flows into our life. The more we're trapped in the illusion, the more we see that show up.
I've always found too that the more challenging or difficult our life experience is, if you manage to sort of rise above it and go into a good space with it, you receive higher levels of grace, and also it gives your soul you get credit points. Don't you? Not that you do it for that reason, but you big tick. That's right. So I noticed that the more difficult something is, and the better you deal with it, and the more you send that situation love and peace and come to harmony with that situation, you receive incredible levels of grace. And grace is such a beautiful energy. And I've always thought of that song Amazing Grace as being a perfect representation of that energy of grace. And I've noticed that, so the bigger the thing you're dealing with, the more you can actually move ahead on your spiritual journey and spiritual path by being able to integrate that in an ascended way,
Yes, that's true. And again, bless you. That's the wisdom of your soul and spirit in this lifetime, my dear friend. You're a wonderful teacher to know that and to share that with all of us. Bless your heart. The other thing, Medina, is spirits saying the violet flame.
Yes, yeah. Patricia loves talking about, us all working with this. One of the greatest resources spiritually at the moment is the violet flame, isn't it, Lou?
Yeah. She's got many good meditations about that, long and short. And Oren also has some good ones on their website as well. They have a meditation room. I do on my morning prayers, which is on my Facebook page.
Link will be below.
Sure. Yeah, great, thank you. And and I've done a lot of wonderful interviews recently as well. So I'll share that with you as well. But on morning prayers, we're working with these energies. That's why I do that, so I can get in my right mind, and know which way is up and how to put my pants on to start the day.
Yes.
The world is,
It's discombobulating, isn't it? I was guided to take a different direction in one area of my life, a really big change, shift energetically, and it just sort of came quite quickly, and it was very discombobulating, and so then you have to allow yourself time to integrate and to process, and then to be able to move in that divine flow. And it's not always easy, because at the moment we're getting these big shifts happening as well. So I just noticed that happened for me recently, and I know a lot of other people experiencing that too. So have you had that happen recently with, well, I guess even with your health?
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, my surgery was a wake-up call, and I got my friends and students helped me hang on to my apartment for 9 months, which was extraordinary. And then I did eventually fall out with my landlord and got evicted, and I've been living in a new flat since January, and that's also been with its challenges. So I mean, every day. But again, I've been invited to record my music with a friend, and I'm part of his wonderful group, a beautiful soul named Ian Morris and his partner Fallon Morningstar, and they've got a site called Listening to Smile, which I'm a part of. So I'll send you the link for that. And at some point, we're going to have a Lou Martin album to listen to, which I'm really excited about. I know you've done that many times, and you're way ahead of me on that score, but I'm excited about it as you might imagine.
Wonderful, Lou. Well, please tell me, when it comes out, and we can share some songs maybe on an interview, and we can tell it when it's available. That'll be fantastic. What's it called?
Sure. The CD? Well, probably it'll be called Warrior of Love, because that's my big hit single. So yeah, thank you. But I mean, this is an answer to your question about your comments about grace, and the patches and this music. This has come just completely to my door without any effort on my part, and so there's Jesus says, I'll give you a lot of Jesus here today. The work you do in private, I will reward you in public. Or God says this to Jesus in the Bible.
That's so lovely.
This is really it. It's like there are no secrets. We really are an open book to our Creator and to our higher self, our soul, and our spirit guides, who God has given us to navigate this wonderful world. And like we're saying here with people like Patricia and Addie Lamborn and these other wonderful teachers, you and I have many of them in our lives, thank God. They're reminders of there is a path and how to walk it, and how to deal with the ups and downs of living in the world every day. But definitely, Medina, you and I have known each other a few years now, and we are being supported, and we are being guided, and we are being empowered and uplifted. And I'm saying again, this next chapter is going to be a real humdinger. We're getting ready for the big event.
We totally are. Do you think we're getting more opportunities to sort of, what's the word, to do positive acts on the planet? I think we are. I've had like 4 injured birds. My partner and I have had like 4 injured birds just in the last few months just appear in front of us. So we've picked them up and taken them to the vet and things like that. And then the other day, for example, we were at the shop, and these 2 young boys came over to us and said that they were desperate for a lift because one of them had cut his foot. They sort of looked like they were what shall we say, a little bit sort of like that they were maybe on the wrong tracks of things. Like they looked like they were probably going to what's the word,
trouble. Troubled is the word.
They'd been, because they'd had a bit of a run-in with the police and da. But anyway, we sort of summed up the situation, and we gave them a lift, and I gave them a little talk about Christ.
Good for you. Yeah.
So I'm hoping they listen. And then we did, and my community group on my Patreon. So if anyone wants to join my Patreon, it's a wonderful group. We have a meeting every week. We have a community chat twice a week, and a planetary healing or meditation every fortnight. And in the last meditation, we did a healing that incorporated them. I sent them, told everyone their names, and we all sent them beautiful energy and healing. But that was another opportunity that just came up, and they were very sort of grateful. But I was more grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do something positive. So it's more of a gift for me actually than for them to be able to do something of service. And I think that's happening more and more to us at the moment as well.
Yes.
Do you think that's true?
Oh God, yes, honey. I mean, you're a woman after my own heart. This is the prayer of Saint Francis. It's better to give than to receive, and that is the blessing that we're looking for. And to be in service, is to be freed from the burdens of self, basically, and to be more focused on giving and serving others. And then, Spirit will just slip in right behind us and bless us and prosper us and heal us in the process of wanting to bless and prosper and heal others. That's one of life's great secrets. And it is definitely, the path of enlightenment and living fifth dimensionally, if I can put it that way.
Absolutely. Because straight away, if you've got any sort of issues or problems that you're dealing with, totally gets a focus off yourself, and you're focused 100% on something else outside of yourself. And that's super healthy anyway to do.
Yes. It's very calming. Very calming. Yes. Yes. But my joke, Medina, is your problems are a comedy. My problems are a tragedy. It's an exaggeration, but there's a little truth in there that makes you laugh at it.
Very Shakespeare.
Well, thank you. Yes, absolutely. But yes, you're really touching on it so beautifully, and that the birds are coming to you and your partner for healing. Abraham talks about when you shift your vibration and you're in alignment, like we're really talking about here, then nature responds to that in a whole different way. One of the things I've been seeing recently, you mentioned Lemuria, and I wanted to say, of course, Australia, New Zealand is a part of all of that.
Oh, yes, I forgot to say that. Yeah, it's a great point. It is all part of Lemuria.
Yeah, and Hawaii and, all of that. I was guided to look at some whale videos on YouTube recently of stories of people interact. What I eventually was looking at was people saving whales, who are tied up in nets and things like this, drowning, and people being saved by the whales, protected from.
I've seen a lot of those videos with animals lately. I saw a otter was saved by somebody, and then the otter, his partner came to get a person who was very nervous and managed to get somebody to follow him, and then they found the otter's partner in a net, and they freed the otter. And then the otter went over and hugged its mate, and then it came back to the person with a gift, with a stone to give it to.
Yes.
It was oh, it nearly had me in tears. And then there was another one of a deer that was being strangled by a python, and a man came over and hit it with a branch and let it go. And the deer, they took it back to the house, and it grew up with them, and it was cuddling all the pets and the children.
I saw that one. I saw that exact one. Yeah.
At the moment, animals having this beautiful connection with people and people saving them and things. That's beautiful.
Yes. Well, it is. It's gorgeous, and when we're in alignment. I mean, this is what the indigenous people of the world know completely. That when we love and honor and respect ourselves and Mother Earth, then nature, is in harmony and balance with us, and we're in balance with nature, and that's the way humanity is meant to walk on this earth.
100%.
And so, yes, we're coming back into that now. That's definitely a part of, all this awakening that's happening.
And I love animals. I'm painting a lot of animals and other things too, like fairies, but animals. I painted a whale just the other day. I'll just share it with you. And the reason
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about whales is, have you heard about Paul Watson, the captain of Sea Shepherd? He's
No.
been arrested, and so there is a movement to free him. So I'm going to leave the details below if you want to support Paul Watson.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really important. But this was my painting recently of a whale.
I just screenshot it. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's really quite big.
Sure.
It's quite a big size, and
Well,
yeah.
yeah. No, it's wonderful, honey. I mean, yeah, I've seen the same stories of dolphins that were drowning because of nets, and they were released, and then they're bringing gifts and throwing balls back and forth with the people. And the whales are the same. There was a woman in Cook Islands, which is your neck of the woods, and she, some 50-foot, 100-foot long, blue whale or sperm whale, or I'm not sure what it was, pilot whale. But she helped it, and it helped her, and then it came back a year later, and she couldn't believe that it came back to visit her a year after they had this amazing connection. And like you're saying, she's just in floods of tears because it lifts the veil. It says the world is a beautiful, beautiful, loving place. It's heaven on earth if your heart is open, you see.
Yes, and the connection with animals is getting stronger and stronger, and it's like we can communicate with them better, and our love for one another is getting stronger, and the relationship is growing, And there was a beautiful one as well. I'll share one more last one of this shark that came up to a boat. And it was saying to the people on the boat, just follow me. And they got this message from the shark. So they followed the shark. It took them to a whale that had a rope hooked into its mouth. And they went and unhooked the rope in the whale's mouth. And then all these whales that were around there just stood up to attention straight up to say thank you after the whale had been released. And they were all just standing in a very unusual way like that.
I've seen photos of that. Yes, it's incredible.
So it just is showing the most incredible things that are happening now with animals, and it's really, really special.
Well, I have to tell you, this is my favorite whale story, which so in 1995, I was living in Kansas City, Missouri, and my girlfriend at the time, Erica Morningstar, another Morningstar, she was inspired for us to go to this conference. And so we drove 14 hours up to Marty, South Dakota, and went to the first Star Knowledge Conference hosted by, he's now called Chief Golden Eagle. He passed away a year ago, but we know him as Standing Elk. And it was an amazing energy, a collection of teachers from all over the world. And one of the chaps there was a Maori, big, heavy-set, powerful, gentle soul. And he told the story that he said when he was a child, what they would do, their initiation was the parents would take the young ones out in a boat till you couldn't see land any longer, 6, 7 years old. This one, pitch them over the side, okay, and drive away and call the whales, then pitch the kids over the side and say, we'll see you tomorrow. And they would go home, and the whales would look after them, and the kids would survive with the whales, spending the night in the open ocean.
Oh my God, that sounds scary for the kids. Oh my.
You'd be a different person after that experience, wouldn't you?
That level of trust that you'd have to build, that connection. Oh wow, that's an incredible story. Wow.
Well, yes, you see, it really, really is. I mean, there is nature and spirit are the same thing, really. Yes. So many. I mean, to come back to Patricia here and her cosmology from spirit.
My dog started barking when you were saying that.
Oh, how nice! How nice!
He's joining him.
Perfect timing. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. Affirmation.
Yes, I'd say so. There you go. Patricia tells the story of the fall from grace, what we call the fall from grace. And she said from spirit, it wasn't thousands of years ago, it was literally millions of years ago. And
Wow.
her whole, yes, and her whole thing was that it has literally taken us millions of years to come to this cosmic moment where we're at now. And, nothing will ever be the same again. I mean, we've been living in this, to come back to nature and relate all this, we've been living in this left brain with our heart chakra closed and the patriarchy, fearing and controlling the feminine, disrespecting it and manipulating it and all of that. And now all of that is completely shifted again. So the divine feminine, the goddess, is returning into our open hearts. Lazara says she's never left, but she's returning. And this is who Addie Lamborn is chatting with every day of her life. Her YouTube channel is called Green Tara Guru, and I'll send you that link, etc. So yeah, everything is coming back into the higher order of the way it's meant to be, and it's a real thing. And if again, everyone listening to this, if you'll just ask for what your divine mission is, I'd say that is the simplest way to keep on track every day, because Spirit will show you and answer what you're asking.
Absolutely. I think that's a great thing to do. Elvis Presley's, the information I got is his great grandmother was Dove Morning Star. So she was a Cherokee. And
right.
She was,
I learned that.
yeah. Morning Star was her name. I've got a picture here somewhere, so I'll try and dig it up. And I was just trying to find it when you were talking, mentioning
that's great.
Morning Star. Yeah.
Or the name again. Yeah.
Yeah, very
sure. Well, I think Venus or Sirius is the morning star.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's Venus.
Right.
Because when Venus has this beautiful flower of life design of its movements through the heavens.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And so there's a particular day of the year when Venus rises before the sun, same as Sirius rises before the sun. But I think, or no, it's several days they're showing me. But it's around the spring or the summer, of course, and it's it's a powerful blessing. So there's the goddess energy of Venus, there's the goddess energy of Mother Earth, there's this activation that's happening in Mother Earth through Mother Earth with humanity. Get on the ride or get out of the way. It's happening. And we're all like going, things are either flowing or they're getting more wobbly, depending on whether we're, as I said earlier, operating from the old scripts or creating a new storyline with Spirit. So one is much more exciting and easier than the other one, is the simple truth.
Absolutely. I just wanted to share it with you, and I got the name wrong too, but it was if you can see here, it was Morning Dove was her name. Isn't she beautiful? That was his great grandmother, Cherokee. And it's interesting because we're both into music, and obviously Elvis is too. So.
I'd say so.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, and here's another little tidbit. All four of the Beatles have Irish ancestry.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. Well, and when all bits of useful knowledge, when the CIA is recruiting people to be psychic, they want the Native American or the Celtic bloodline.
That's really interesting. I love the Irish, and I love the musicality of the Irish people. I mean, even when you listen to them talk, they're so sing-song. They go up and they go down. And whereas Australians go, they talk like this or so, monologue, sort of monotone. But the Irish, they go up and down, and they all sing-song when they speak. I love that. Yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of Irish in Australia. It's a very popular place to go to, which it should be. Lovely people like yourself, my friend. Bless you.
Thank you. Well, we've been chatting an hour now, and I think we've covered some wonderful territory.
Thank you.
am really excited. What do you think, for people watching, just as we finish today, the Congress of Illumination being the very last one, because we have succeeded beyond expectations. What can you share with everyone about what that means?
Yeah, that's that is the question. Well, we're deciding, honestly, it's a great question, honey. It's a perfect question to finish on. We're each of us deciding, hearing this information, how it lands in us, whether we are open to it or not, whether we're excited by it or not. There's no accident. We say again, both of us here, I'm sure. And what we've just touched on in terms of the indigenous cultures, the deep relationship to Mother Nature, the openness between animals and humanity, these things are all by divine design. What I want to share with you before we finish here is that Patricia has given us what Spirit says through her is the most powerful prayer. And it's very, very simple. The short one is the activation. And it goes like this: I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. So that's, take a breath into that. And she says from Archangel Michael, that sends a beam of light from our heart. And that gives us that oneness with Spirit and with all of life. Then we can declare and decree, this is the rest of the prayer. I am also one with the company of heaven, the angelic kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and Gaia, Mother Earth. I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action which I express throughout this day with more love and more light for myself and my world.
Beautiful. That's
And
beautiful.
so it is.
Perfect one to finish on.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's wonderful, Lou. I knew it would be really special to have you here to talk about this today. So I really appreciate you taking the time to chat about this. And it's been so wonderful, as always, to connect with you. And please can you post it on your CD that's coming out, and we can share maybe with a beautiful song in the interview. And thank you for everything that you're doing. I know that you're so dedicated to this ascension process and to humanity, and you're doing an incredible job. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart. As I like to say, I've tried everything else.
We all have.
Yes, exactly. This works. This works, guys.
It's much better than the alternatives.
That's right. That's right. This will put a smile on your face. Absolutely.
Thank you, Lou. Lots of love.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, everyone watching.
Peace.